Tara Faye Grinstead, a beloved teacher from Ocilla, Georgia, mysteriously disappeared on October 22, 2005. She could touch an entire community through her passion for teaching and dedication to her students. Imagine the heartbreak when the search for answers after nearly 12 years led to betrayal by people she once knew. Tara Faye Grinstead was born on November 14, 1974 in Hawkinsville, Georgia, to Bill and Faye Grinstead. She grew up in a supportive family alongside her sibling, Anita Grinstead, who was an important part of her life. Tara's charisma and dedication were evident from a young age, leading her to win the title of Miss Tifton in 1999. This achievement opened doors for her, allowing her to compete in the prestigious Miss Georgia beauty pageant. The winnings from these competitions, along with other pageants she entered, played a crucial role in funding her education. Tara pursued higher education, diligently graduating from Middle Georgia College in Cochran before earning a master's degree in education from Valdosta State University in 2003. With her degrees in hand, she embarked on a teaching career that began in 1998 when she accepted a position teaching history at Irwin County High School in Ocilla. Her passion for teaching and her commitment to her students made her a beloved figure in the school community. Tara's enthusiasm for education inspired many young minds, and her dedication was recognized by both colleagues and students alike. However, Tara's life took an unexpected turn on October 22, 2005, when she mysteriously disappeared the night. Before her disappearance, Tara attended a beauty pageant where she served as a coach for young contestants, showcasing her dedication to the success of her students. Following the pageant, she also attended a barbecue, enjoying the company of friends and community members. This evening seemed entirely ordinary, with no indication that anything was amiss. By Monday morning, October 24th, Tara failed to report for work. Her co-workers, knowing her reliability and dedication, immediately sensed something was wrong. When she did not show up, alarmed by her unexplained absence, they contacted the police, who then went to check her home. When officers arrived, they found Tara's cell phone inside her house and her car parked outside. However, her purse and keys were missing, a troubling sign that suggested she might have left in a hurry or under unusual circumstances. The Ocilla police, recognizing the seriousness of the situation, called in the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, GBI, right away. The local authorities felt that the case was beyond their resources, and they wanted the expertise of a larger investigative body to handle what they feared could be a more complex situation. As the GBI began their investigation, they meticulously searched Tara's home for any signs of forced entry or a struggle. However, no evidence of either was found. The lack of visible clues only deepens the mystery, adding to the growing fear that Tara's disappearance was not a simple case of someone deciding to leave town. Despite the extensive search efforts by law enforcement and the involvement of the GBI, the investigation struggled to gain traction. Numerous searches were conducted, and the case drew significant media attention, but concrete leads remained elusive. The community, desperate for answers, organized their own efforts, clinging to the hope of finding Tara safe. Yet, despite all the efforts and resources put into the search, the case began to lose momentum, and eventually, it went cold in 2008. Tara Grinstead's case gained renewed attention when it was featured on CBS's 48 Hours Mystery. The program highlighted the similarities between Tara's disappearance as in the case of Jennifer Kessa, a young woman who vanished in Orlando, Florida, just 3 months later. The comparison brought Tara's case back into the spotlight, rekindling interest and hope for new leads. It reminded many that her mysterious disappearance remained unsolved, and there were still unanswered questions about what had happened to her. As part of the renewed focus on the case, the authorities disclosed a crucial piece of evidence: DNA, found on a latex glove in Tara's yard. However, despite the promise that this discovery held the DNA did not lead to any immediate breakthroughs, analysis confirmed that the DNA belonged to a man, but his identity remained unknown. Investigators compared the DNA sample to numerous individuals connected to Tara, but no matches were found. Even after entering the sample into both Georgia's and national databases, it yielded no new information, leaving investigators and Tara's loved ones frustrated. A significant breakthrough finally came on February 23rd, 2017, when the Georgia Bureau of Investigation announced the arrest of Ryan Alexander Duke for Tara slaying. Ryan had attended Irwin County High School, where Tara taught a few years prior to her disappearance. According to the warrants presented in court, Ryan was allegedly in the process of burglarizing Tara's home when she caught him in the act. In response, he strangled her and removed her body from the house. This revelation shocked the community, which had waited for years for answers, only to learn that the crime was committed by someone who had once been a part of their local school community. Shortly thereafter, on March 3, 2017, another arrest followed, revealing that Ryan did not act alone. Bo Dukes, a former classmate of Ryan Duke, was charged with attempting to conceal Tara's demise, of obstructing justice, and tampering with evidence. A woman named Brooke Sheridan came forward to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. She said her boyfriend Bo Dukes told her that he had helped his friend Ryan Duke cover up Tara's slaying. Bo's connection to the case stunned many, particularly Tara's sister Anita Gaddis, who had known Bo's family for years, but never imagined he could be involved. The community, already grappling with the shocking news of Tara's life ending, then had to contend with the fact that another familiar face had played a role in covering up her demise. The arrests of Ryan Duke and Bo Dukes brought long-awaited answers, but also deepened the tragedy of Tara's story. On February 21, 2017, Bo sat down for an interview with the GBI and told them that in October 2005, Ryan came to him saying he had taken Tara's life and dumped her body in a pecan orchard that Bo's family owned. Bo said that together he and Ryan burned the body there in the orchard over the period of 2 days. The trial of Bo Dukes began on March 19, 2019. After 3 days of court proceedings, he was found guilty on March 22, 2019. He was sentenced to 25 years in prison for attempting to conceal Tara's demise, obstructing justice, and tampering with evidence. This verdict marked a significant moment in the case, as it brought accountability to at least one of the individuals involved in the events following Tara's tragic disappearance. Ryan Duke, the man accused of taking the life of Tara, was initially set to go on trial on April 1, 2019. However, his trial faced a setback when on March 28, 2019, the Georgia Supreme Court delayed proceedings. This decision came after Ryan's defense team argued that they had been unconstitutionally denied funds necessary to secure expert witnesses for his defense. After a prolonged delay, Ryan's trial eventually began on May 9, 2022. More than 16 years after Tara's disappearance, the delay in bringing Ryan to trial added to the emotional toll on Tara's family, who had already endured years of waiting for justice. When the trial finally commenced, Ryan pleaded not guilty to the charges of slaying. During his testimony, he shifted the blame onto Bo, alleging that Bo was the one responsible for Tara's demise. This unexpected turn in Ryan's defense strategy presented a different narrative from the one initially heard. When he was arrested, he said he was afraid of his former friend, so he gave a false confession. As the proceedings unfolded, the jury was faced with conflicting accounts of what had truly happened on that fateful day in 2005, further complicating an already convoluted case. On May 20, 2022, the jury reached its verdict. Ryan was found not guilty of slaying, aggravated assault, and burglary. However, he was convicted of concealing Tara's demise. The verdict came as a surprise to many who had expected a different outcome given Ryan's initial confession. The court's decision left Tara's family and the community with mixed emotions. There was some measure of accountability, but not the full justice they had hoped for. It also left lingering doubts and questions about who was ultimately responsible for Tara's tragic fate. 3 days later, on May 23, 2022, Ryan was sentenced to the maximum penalty of 10 years in prison for the charge of concealing a demise. The sentence was a bittersweet conclusion to a case that had left the community in Ocilla, Georgia, deeply affected for nearly 2 decades, while Ryan's conviction for concealing Tara's demise brought some closure. The fact that he was acquitted of the more serious charges meant that the true circumstances of Tara's demise remained to some extent shrouded in mystery. After Ryan was arrested, his attorney filed a gag order, and Anita Grinstead Gaddis, Tara's sister, says that is not okay with her. She said, "I had never heard either one of those names until after Ryan was arrested. I'm sorry, but you want to protect the rights of the person who has been arrested over the rights of my sister. She added, I am thankful, but I am also heartbroken because this is not the outcome I wanted. Some part of me hoped that my sister was going to be alive, but I now know that this is not the case.